Stone. Woody Page, Mina Kimes. Happy Ohtani Day, everybody. Is there any way he doesn't win MVP today?
No!
Seriously?
You were right.
It's been years.
You knew he was going to be the best player in the league, and you were upset your Mariners were going to get him. You were right. This is vindication for you, Mina.
That was right.
Yeah, vindication.
I think the Browns are going to kind of, at the end of the year, kind of look at all their options and make a decision and kind of weigh it. Who can we get? Who can I? Is he our best option? And it's kind of a sticky situation. Okay, he's going to be a long-term deal, but he needs surgery. So that's what I'm saying. That one's pretty murky.
That's Jay Glazer, as you know, and that's conversational. That's not a report, but what he's hearing is the Browns aren't 100% committed to Maayfield. He said it on the Pat McAfee Show, headlines every week for the Pat McAfee Show. But the month that was for Cleveland, jettisoning Beckham, Jarvis Landry's recently wondering where his touches are. Maayfield had that line a few weeks ago that he needed the fans to bring it. That was a game the offense didn't bring it. Maayfield says he's more banged up than ever. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, the running game hasn't been healthy either. Mina Kimes, around the horn to you. Do you believe it's possible the Browns aren't 100% behind Maayfield? And should they be?
The decision about whether to hold on to a first-round quarterback is the most important one that most GMs will ever have to make. And Tony, it's a decision the Browns don't have to make right now. Like, this is much ado about nothing at the moment. Like, right now, the only choice you have to make is whether to keep starting Maayfield over Case Keenum. I think that's easy. Case Keenum did perform respectably in relief, but Maayfield, when healthy, gives you a higher upside. But, the question as to whether or not his health is impacting his performance is something that's probably going to be answered over the remainder of the season. And that stretch of games will help the Browns decide what to do this offseason when it really becomes decision time. They already picked up his fifth-year option. They're paying him next year. But I believe if he struggles over the remainder of the season, Jay Glazer's right. They are going to consider bringing in competition, and frankly, they would be right to do so.
Woody Page, I'll bring you in here.
Mina, you and the Haslams and the Browns have got to get more enthusiastic about this quarterback. He had an 11-5 record last year, won against a bitter rival in the playoffs, and you want to dump him? You want to find out more? This guy's become the face of the franchise. He lives in the stadium. Do you think Bernie Kosar or Brian Sipe are coming back and walking into that building? Go back, Mina, to the last 25 years. They've had 25 quarterbacks starting there before they finally got to a guy that's in his fourth year of starting. He's got a bad foot. He's got a bad knee, he's got a bad shoulder, but yet he keeps coming out there and playing and showing people he cares about that franchise. Yes, you got to really think hard about bringing him back and giving him a long-term contract. Where are you going to go find somebody that's better at this point?
Mina, you want to respond to Woody there?
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to a single girlfriend right now instead of Woody. Just because you've had a lot of bad relationships doesn't mean you should settle for anyone, Woody. And in this case, we're talking about a quarterback in Baker Maayfield who has had flashes of really good play, but he's also been inconsistent over the course of his career. There is no reason for the Browns to give him a long-term extension right now, especially with the franchise tag looming after the fifth-year option.
Kevin Blackistone, join us.
Well, let's see. Why might Baker Maayfield have been inconsistent over his career in Cleveland? Could it be that he's had 4 coaches in 4 seasons? Could it be that he's had 4 offensive coordinators and 4 systems in 4 years? Could it be that they haven't put in place a system to keep him upright and healthy? I mean, he's got a lot of talent, and if there's one thing that pays off in the NFL, it's not only talent, but it's also patience. And the Cleveland Browns have had absolutely no patience at any level of their organization for a number of years, which is why they've been a doormat in the NFL for so long. So if I'm them, my first consideration is to try and get Baker Maayfield healthy and to try and get some stability with that coaching, with the coaching that they have on that team.
And Pablo Torre.
But hold on here, right? The Browns also have like one of the best running games in the league. They've surrounded Baker Maayfield with weapons. He's had help. The question now is he one of the 5 or 6 guys for whom any given NFL team, honestly, is 100% committed? There just aren't that many guys like that. Go down the list. You get to like Josh Allen, and then right below him, you're like, okay, who do we really feel good about 100% of the time? not many people, and Baker Mayfield, for all of the stuff that you guys are saying, like, is not that guy. And I don't think there's a way for him to prove that this season, given his health problems. On that level, I do have sympathy for him, right? The entire left side of his body is banged up. He just hurt the right side of his body against the Patriots. He's in a tough position. They are 5-5. They're still in the hunt. He needs to play, but it's not going to go well.
Blackistone back in.
Well, he was missing 2 starters on the offensive line. Nick Chubb's been banged up this year. We know about Kareem Hunt. I mean, this is a problem that is larger than Baker Mayfield. Is he the solution to them long term? I don't know, but I don't think this is a time to step away from Baker Mayfield.
What's that face you're making?
He plays in one of the most quarterback-friendly offenses in the entire NFL. And when he was thriving, it was in large part because of that. To hear, like, poor Baker Mayfield, he's missing one offensive lineman. This is one of the most dominant lines in football. So, I understand his health has impacted his play this year. I completely believe that. But the notion that he's been in a difficult situation, I think it's ridiculous.
We've been Horn, we'll move on. Patriots-Falcons, Thursday Night Football. Thursday night, the great equalizer. We saw a big upset last week. Mina, you were sniffing around that one. What's possible tonight with the Patriots coming in on the 4-game win streak? Falcons off the horrific beatdown. What are you watching for? What's the one thing that will decide?
Well, I expect the Patriots to win this one because they're dominant in the trenches. It's why they've been winning lately, Tony. They've shuffled the offensive line a bit. Now it looks like one of the best pass-protecting groups and run blocking in football. And then on the other side of the ball, this front seven is able to get pressure without blitzing, which is a formula for success in the NFL right now. The Patriots, I believe, have the highest floor of any team in the AFC, a conference that, as you guys know, has been totally bonkers. Like, all of the supposed contenders have been losing weird games, the Bills to the Jaguars, Miami, as you said, the Ravens to Miami. I don't think that's going to happen to the Patriots. Like, amidst all of this chaos, New England is a locus of normalcy. Do they have the highest ceiling? No. But I believe that they're the most reliable of the AFC contenders.
Locus of normalcy. So we'll go to Kevin Blackistone, please.
Well, I mean, I think the big story will be the Patriots and Mac Jones. I mean, he's going to be on a national stage, and people are going to be able to look at the standout from this standout rookie quarterback class. We were supposed to be talking about Trevor Lawrence, maybe Trey Lance. Instead, the story is Mac Jones and a brilliant choice and a brave choice that Bill Belichick has made that's getting him over the hump right
Pablo
now.
Torre.
Well, look, to get Mac Jones to struggle, you need to get pressure on him, and that's the issue for the Falcons, right? They're relying on Dante Fowler, his second game back from injury. He is not going to be very helpful against that O-line that Mina described. Also, by the way, the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of bad teams in the league, right? The single worst defense by Football Outsiders DVO metric. So the idea that this team is going to be stopping those Patriots, good luck.
Woody Page.
Well, that's the point, is Atlanta has just gone into tank the last 3 weeks. That's not a good team. Meanwhile, you have Belichick proving that he spent all that ton of money during the offseason, and it's working out not only with the free agents they brought in, but their draft choices were great. Look at that defensive line that they have. I think it's a case of, and you got to add to that, their running game has been outstanding. They have one of their 2 running backs out of concussion protocol, so they'll be at full strength there. There's not a chance for the Falcons tonight. And you know this, Tony. You were talking earlier this week about winning streaks in the NFC. Well, forget about the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about 4 games in a row for the Patriots. They're playing the Buffalo Bills twice in December. They have a chance to win the division now.
Yeah, it's all in play for them. All right. Nobody's on the Falcons with the uniforms that we're wearing tonight? All black. Black pants.
Ooh,
that's
black
great.
pants. Black
Chick-fil-A
jersey.
open.
Black helmet. No?
Stadium.
It was a jersey matchup I picked.
All right, one more story here. NBA, the Bucks overpowering the Lakers last night. 109-102. 47 for Giannis. And 0, the great squadouche, for Anthony Davis at the free throw line. Frank Vogel said 0 free throw attempts for Davis is mind-boggling. Talking about letting the league office know about it. Kevin, does Anthony Davis have beef at free throws, or should the Lakers and Davis look inward?
Yeah, they should look inward. He doesn't have beef about that. I think he's just coming off a season in which he had his fewest trips to the free throw line. You're talking about a guy who has said he doesn't want to play the 5. He's playing the 5 somewhat reluctantly. He seems to back away from contact. When we think about him, we don't think about him at the rim. We think about him shooting jumpers. We think about him growing up in a guard's body with a guard's skills, which is what he did as a young player. So they should be requiring him, I think, maybe to be more physical, even though that may not be really his game.
Pablo?
But that's why Frank Vogel is saying this, guys. It's because they need to get Anthony Davis incentivized to keep doing what he's been doing more than he has been doing at any point since his second season in the league, which is trying to score in the paint. He's doing that about 46% of the time. You're right, KB, that has been the knock historically, but they need him at the 5 for this team to work. It's a strange team. It's a bunch of bad fits. If this guy does not feel like he's getting help down low and he's being supported down low, then this experiment might be dead on arrival, yeah.
Mina Kimes?
So, on the particular matter of the free throws, I actually think Vogel was right. Davis should have gotten some calls, including the dunk. But ultimately, doesn't matter, because if you're looking at this game as a referendum on AD versus Giannis, it's very clear these players are in different tiers coming out of this, free throws or not. And frankly, that's going to be a problem for the Lakers going forward.
And Woody?
When Davis was guarding Giannis, 9 out of 13 times that Giannis had the ball in his face, he scored. 6 of 8 driving into the lane and to the bucket. Now Anthony Davis, he averaged his shots last night, 10 of them from beyond 17 feet. Give me a break. If you want to actually get to the free throw line, you and 7 of your teammates who didn't go to the free throw line, then you got to be inside. He shot 4 times from down low. Otherwise, he was out to 28 feet shooting. What in the world is that about? So Frank Vogel has no argument. He needs to be coaching that team to go inside, not stay outside.
Woody Page rallying late, 21 points. And let me just take in that look you're wearing today. I mean, you look like you are exporting exotic birds from the Florida Keys on a propeller plane. Incredible look.
Leather?
Look in the trunk of my car today.
Like he's all
Fire sale next.
Can't make a deal.
living in a stadium. Yeah.
Around the Horn is presented by Bullet Bourbon.
Coach in the Big Ten and the second highest in college, only behind Nick Saban. 10 years, $95 million. Michigan State's had a phenomenal year. Number 7 right now. However, working on the extension the week before you play Ohio State, a little interesting. Mina, smart move?
I'd like to add another superlative to the ones you mentioned, which is that it also makes him the highest paid black coach in American sports right now. I love it for Tucker. I like it for Michigan State. There's a little bit of trepidation. We're talking about a pretty short record there, and the team's gotten a little bit lucky. But what I found fascinating about this, Tony, was that all this money, according to the Free Press, is coming from a couple of donors, which is a reminder that if there was an actual free market for college athletes, any school with big donors could get them.
Woody, buy or sell?
A brilliant decision by both sides. Mel Tucker has spent most of his coaching life in the Big Ten. He started as a graduate assistant at Michigan State, Ohio State, played at Wisconsin. He wants to stay there. There's not a better job for him. And for Michigan State to finally have a relevant coach again after the retirement, yes,
KB,
makes sense.
I'm going to ask it this way. LSU is open now. USC is open right now. How much is that in play with Mel Tucker?
No, those could be in play. And the thing about Mel Tucker is that Michigan State knows is if he sees something he really likes, he's going to hop on it. His wife, Jo Ellen, met her on a blind date and proposed to her before the date was over. That's the kind of decision making this guy makes.
That's the kind of information that gets you points on this show. And Pablo Torre.
But the brilliance of this, Tony, is that we're having this entire news cycle about how great Mel Tucker is before he plays Ohio State, which is currently favored by almost 20 points. So the idea that his agent got this job, built this market out of thin air, and meanwhile they're about to get wrecked by Ohio State.
Whoa. How dare you? How dare you? I mean, you have him getting wrecked by Ohio State. Okay. But then the $95 million, he'll be able to wipe away his tears with that. We'll move on. Buy or sell 2, the Red Raider Radio Network announcers got spicy last week versus Iowa State. Brian Jensen and John Harris didn't like the officiating of the game. They listed the names of everyone on the refereeing crew, said the conference should be embarrassed, told Commissioner Bob Bowlesby to answer for it. Well, Bowlesby did answer for it, and he suspended the 2 radio announcers for this weekend's game versus Oklahoma State. Bowlesby said they represent the school when calling games and have to act as such. Woody, who are you with here? Announcers going all in on calls they don't like, or the conference for shutting it down?
I'm going with the announcers, play-by-play, and analysts at every school in the country. We all want homers. We want you to be on our side. I think the commissioner needs to grow some thick skin or a pair, because this goes on at every game where we're all homers talking about our team. There's nothing wrong with it. They've been together for 75 years total.
Grow a pear, like the fruit. Okay, yes, like apples grow on tree, pears grow on tree.
Pear
Yes,
head
grow a pear. Kevin Blackistone, how about you?
Absolutely. I mean, this is right out of the old Southwest Conference announcers playbook, literally. Dave South, the voice of the Aggies. One time he went to at a basketball game and he went like this to the referees. They ejected him from the game. The announcer got ejected from the game. So this is mild compared to
But are you with the announcers? Do you like homers?
I'm with the announcers. They didn't dox the guys. Come on.
They gave their
just read
names out.
They did.
They didn't give their addresses. Pablo Torre, how about you?
Well, of course, we're all in favor of the announcers. We do this particular television show. If Woody Page was going to get docked for being a homer, he would have had somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 fewer shows, Tony. The idea that we're going to start policing this stuff feels unsustainable to me in the business that we do.
And Mina Kimes.
Wow. So I'm usually in favor of calling out refs, but I actually thought naming their names was a little bit over the top and over the line, especially in the world of college football, where fans are so passionate and a little bit terrifying at times.
Okay.
Listing off the names of the referees, I actually found to be a little bit aggressive and inappropriate.
Woody, you said the names are guaranteed to Cy Youngs, to Ray and Burrs. He was right. He won the show. Pressure on you guys today for MVP. Shohei Ohtani, the presumed lock in the American League. National League gets interesting. Harper, Soto, or Tatis? Woody Page, who you got?
I got Harper for his second MVP before he's 30. 100 runs, 100 walks, 40 doubles, 35 home runs. Only 3 players have done that: Barry Bonds, Stan Musial, and Babe Ruth.
KB?
That's a good one. A former national, but the current national, Juan Soto, should win it. I mean, despite setting a record for walks because he has such a great eye, 313 batting, 95 ribbies, 111 runs scored. Come on, in his second Silver Slugger Award, please.
You said he should win it. Will he win it?
should win
Kevin
it.
Blackistone.
Yes, he'll win it. I'm telling
You're
you right
guaranteeing it. All right. Well, get
Juan
back to
Soto.
you. Woody Page
It's
is
over.
getting the point here. We'll move on. There were many times last night where it didn't look like Phoenix was going to get it together, but 37-point fourth quarter, and it's 10 straight wins for the Suns. Yesterday's panel was unanimous. Golden State was the finals favorite. Could it be possible the Suns are better than they were last year when they made the finals, Kev?
You know, it could be better. They very well could be better. I mean, they're playing a lot more solid, I think, right now, but it's so early in the NBA season. And the thing about the Warriors is they still don't have Klay Thompson back and they're missing Wiseman.
Woody?
Kevin, it's not a chance that they may be better. They're absolutely better. 10 wins in a row, playing better defense, that play in the middle. By them, I think this is a team that certainly, as defending champs, has a possibility of repeating.
That play in the middle? Was there a particular play in the middle you're speaking of here, or just general play in the middle? Woody? There was a great It was a great finish from Booker in the middle yesterday. I thought that was awesome. We'll give the point to Stone. We'll move on. Last story here. Sacramento Kings have had a rough start and a loss to Minnesota last night. Questions about head coach Luke Walton. Here's Tristan Thompson.
I'm gonna say this. I think no man in this world should rely on another man to inspire them. Point blank player. You can put that in all capitals. It's not about Coach Walton inspiring you. This is not no freaking glory road. No, you gotta be ready to play. Your number's called you in the damn game. I don't need no coach to inspire me.
Woody, do those comments help or hurt Coach Luke Walton?
I don't think they had any effect whatsoever, but I think George Carlin would have liked those quotes. And I think he's absolutely right that you motivate yourself, you inspire yourself. That's most important.
Well, clearly it takes some pressure off of Walton here by Tristan Thompson saying that, everybody should be professional and you should play to your best. But this coming from a guy who averaged 9 and 8 during his career, I don't know. I wish somebody had motivated him a little bit more.
Why'd you gotta take a shot at the guy like that, Stone? Woody Page, take the FaceTime.
Let's talk some small college football. Montana State playing this weekend for the championship. And Montana State has a brand new coach this year. He had 2 objectives: to beat Montana, win the national championship. Lofty objectives. Well, guess what? He can do both. Here's a guy that was that trained 2 quarterbacks. One was Carson Wentz.